sales, welcome back to HPVR. This is, if you do not know by yet, this is my vape review channel. I do hardware reviews and show you the different types of builds, different types of mods that you can get on the market. Also to show you a little bit what the product entails. This is just my opinion, so please do keep in mind you might have a different experience with it. This is just a guideline to show you a little bit more about the device. You will also find a pictorial review on Instagram, also on my Facebook page, so remember to like and subscribe and go and check out my feeds. Today we are going to look at the Innokin Proton system. This one is a kit and it was sent to me from Velour Vapes. They are in stand. Like I said, this is the Innokin Proton system. This one is the kit. Like I said, it comes with the Cyan Plexus coil, which is a mesh coil system, but something different to what your normal coil systems would look like. So what we're going to do is I'm going to dive down, show you a little bit more about the device, show you what it can do, and let's take it from there. Okay. So what we have here today is the Innokin Proton. This is the kit. This is not the model line, which means you get your Plexar tank, your Cyan tank with the Plexar coil system with it. On the back of the box you will see here everything that you get with your mod, and you got your scratch code over there that you can actually go and check whether it's an authentic product or not. This one is the black and gunmetal one that I got. Let's open up and see. Okay, so first off, what you're going to get is you're going to get your accessories box. Your accessories box is going to comprise of your user manual, a little QR card from Proton, from Innokin. You're going to get your user manual. Let's just empty this out here. This is a quick user manual. Show you how to start up the device, set up your coils, all that kinds of things. Then you have your more comprised full user manual inside here, with some warning cards and battery safety, and we all know how important battery safety is, which is a good thing. You're also going to get an extra set of O-rings for your Cyan tank, and a nice vape ring to protect that glass just in case the mod falls over, to keep it nice and safe. Then you also have your micro USB cable, which you can use for upgrading the firmware of the device and also charging, which is something I do not always recommend. Rather get yourself a external battery charger, charge your batteries externally. It'll extend the batteries, it'll extend the life of the mod itself as well. Now let's open it up. This is what the mod looks like. This is your Innokin Proton mod. I'm going to put that over there. You also get an extra coil for the tank. You can see an extra bubble glass for the tank, and an extra drip tip, which is an extra drip tip for the tank itself. Then you have the tank. This is the tank. Let's just put the box to the one side. This is your tank that you have. As you can see, it looks to me like it's going to be a 25 millimeter tank. You just screw out the bottom here, and there you have your coil. This is a manufacturer's coil. A little something interesting about this coil is the wicking on this coil is not just pure cotton. It is actually Japanese cotton and a blend of wood pulp, which apparently lasts a lot longer. So let's see what this puppy can do. On here it says a resistance of 0.36 ohm candle, and I don't know whether you will be able to see it over there, which can run at between, your best is between 80 and 130 watts. 150 watts on there. Okay, this is the straight loss that you have on here. Now to refill it, you're going to see it slides open like that, and to close it just the same. Before we start, let's just prime the coil quickly. Today we're going to use Dr. Vape's Pink Panther on ice, lovely e-liquid from the UK. Anybody who does not haven't tried this juice yet, do yourself a favor, get yourself a bottle, give this juice a go. Now, priming of factory coils for a sub-ohm tank is extremely important. It will help with the longevity of the coil, plus you will not burn your coil on the first go. Now, this is very important, as a coil like this can actually burn out quite quickly. You will see what I do is I just place a couple of drops on the vent holes, or on the juice ports on there. I'm also going to place some juice on here, just to make sure that we get it nice and saturated. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this back into the tank, and as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm closing up everything now. Okay, now we're going to refill the tank. As you can see on the tank itself, there's like a little arrow right here, whereas when you press there, it clicks open like that. The juice port for the refill is not that big, which is something I don't like very much. Normally, if you have bigger juice ports in here, you don't get like an airlock that happens. Some of the sub-ohm tanks that I've used that had small little holes like that for refilling tended to have what they call it, an airlock type of thing, which means it causes a bubble on the inside. Your tank won't be full, but you won't be able to fill it, because the juice will start spilling over. And then you just need to pop that bubble to get the juice flowing again, to open up that port so that you can actually, and this is what I was talking about now. Okay, so we filled it up there. Some nice Dr. Vape's Pink Panther on ice. We'll close that up and we'll let this sit for a couple of minutes, and let me explain a little bit further on the device for you. First off, what you can see is, as you can see, the screen is like a plastic type of covering. It does attract a little bit of fingerprints to it, but it seems like it's a little tough. At the back, you'll see it's almost got this like of impression on here, like a pressed carbon fiber type of feel to it. Gives you a little bit more grip on the mod. It's not that sticky, it is plastic though, so that is something different. The mod itself is an aluminium body, so it is very, very lightweight. As you can see on the side here, that's your fire button, which is a long fire bar. It will not work when you press it at the bottom. It will not fire. You have to press it at the top. Then you have your joystick type of button over here. Now this is where you're going to navigate your menu and select items in the menu itself. At the bottom, the battery door clicks open like this. As you can see, it's a quite not that sturdy door, but it should hold. Nice contacts over here, shows you an A port and a B port, and it'll show you plus, positive and negative over here. Would have been nice if it was in white, just to make sure that you can see it, but to remedy that, they actually did the inside of the mod. As you can see here, let me just try and show you. You can see a positive and a negative over there. So we're going to put our dual 18650s in here. Batteries I'm using today is Samsung 30Q batteries, re-wrapped with some ODB wraps, some of the best wraps I've ever used. So okay, and then to close it, you just click it like that. A little screen will pop up to show you that there is power available on the mod. Then what you need to do is you need to click the fire button 3 times, not 5 like on the other mods that you used to have. So you're going to click it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it'll start up. It'll show you Innokin, and that is what the screen display looks like. To get into the menu, to switch it off again, you need to press it 3 times again. So it's 1, 2, 3, and it'll go dead. There you go. As you can see, the top of the mod, the 510 is not centered to the middle. Now, a lot of people would have a problem with that. Me, myself, I personally do not mind it being a little bit off to the side. It doesn't really matter to me though. It's not in a position that it is very, very uncomfortable to use. Okay, and as you can see, your positive pin inside there is now you're going to see, to go into, to select one of those options, you're going to use your little joystick option over here to scroll up or down. Go into your wattage mode, you just click on the button itself and you'll see it will go into a wattage mode. To get into the menu, you're going to click on the joystick button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and you will be in the menu system. Now, as you can see on here, don't know whether you will be able to see it. What you have is you can set your coil on here, you can set your TCR, your curve, the bypass. You use it in a bypass mode, more like a mechanized mod type of setting, and then you get your settings. To go into your settings, you will see on the settings itself, you will see that it shows you a vape cutoff, which is the time it takes for the device to cut off as soon if a fire button keeps on pressed in. The screen, if you go into there, you will be able to see what time you can set the brightest, you can set the time dim out and the timeout of the screen itself. If you want to go back, you just go there, go press back. Okay, there you can set it in Celsius or in Fahrenheit. You can actually go to the color of the screen display as well, as where you've got your different options on seeing which of the colors will work for you. Let's keep it on purple. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's get back into that settings mode over there. Okay, then you have your puff counter, which is on there. As you can see, this one I've been testing a little bit. Let's go back, and obviously your firmware, to reset your firmware or to firmware upgrade the mod itself. Very simple, very easy to use mod. It isn't very difficult to use this. It isn't very difficult to navigate it. The button on the front is quite sturdy, so I don't think it would start working out. But as I could say, I've been using this for a couple of days now, and it is actually working out nicely. Now let us put the tank on here. As you can see, what I did is I refilled it. It's got an airflow ring at the bottom, which I like is it's got that, I don't know if you can hear that, those little steps that you can actually choose the amount of airflow that you want. It is on a stopper, which means you won't be able to turn it all the way around. It closes up nicely, it goes open nicely. Okay, so let's screw on the tank and let us vape on it. You'll see it start asking me for a coil select. What I'll do is I'll go in same. It'll give me the resistance on there, as I said, 0.05 or 0.035. It gives me a 0.037 reading on there. It said between 80 watts and 130 watts. Now let us take this one up a bit So to adjust your wattage, you're going to just press on the joystick. You'll see as soon as you start pressing it to the side or upwards, and you hold it in, it'll start flashing, and then you can actually adjust your wattage. It does adjust it into a 0.5 increments on the wattage, and it can go all the way up to 235 and then round robins back to 6 watts. Let us take this one to 90 watts and see what it can do. As you can see, firing is quite instant on there. The button is very clicky and it is working perfectly. Let us show you what this vape's like. And we're back. So this is the Innokin Proton mod with the Scion tank on here with the Plexar coils. Now as I said, this is a device that is prone to a little bit of fingerprints on the screen itself, but not too much though. I have used mods that are a little bit more prone to fingerprints, a little bit more fingerprint magnety. But let's vape on it and see what the flavor is like on this. Wow, as you can see, vapor production on this mod is, on this tank, is absolutely phenomenal. Flavor I'm getting off this, I can definitely say this is very, very good flavor. And this now, for the coil that I've got in here, is the quad coil, and that is not the mesh one, that is a normal Canthal one. Your spare coil that you do get with the device is actually a mesh coil, and the mesh coil is a 0.15 ohm, which is rated best between 60 and 110 watts. So this is actually coils that you can actually vape at a much higher temperature. I must say this is actually a very, very interesting experience. Flavor on this is very good. That's with the airflow wide open. Let's close it down halfway. Ooh, the flavor even bangs a little bit more. Now this is on a normal quad coil on the inside, and I must say this is actually very, very nice. The flavor just pops in your mouth when you close up the airflow a little bit. You can hear it is a little bit loud, the airflow is a little bit turbulent, but that is to be expected. It is normal on normal sub-ohm tanks that you do get a little bit of turbulent airflow on there. All in all, I'd say this is definitely one of those little guys that you can actually use as a daily mod. It is very light, it is very small. You can actually see it in my hand. It is very small, it is very light. It's a full aluminium body. The sub-ohm tank itself, a very good tank that you've got on here. As to the life expectancy of the coil, I cannot comment on that, as I have not tested the life expectancy of the coil yet. But as I can show you, it is a very nice looking little mod. It displays nicely. You can see the display is nice and bright. You can see what's going on the screen. It is very easy to use, and it's definitely one of those vapes that I can recommend for anybody. It will go from your entry-level vapors to people to intermediate people, intermediate vapors. Price range on this, I'm not exactly sure. I've seen them on a couple of sites running for the kit around about 1,200 to 1,400 rand. It is a very nice kit, but I can tell you all about this, and the best is to go down to your local vape shop and go and have a look at this little baby. This is seriously something interesting to have. Oh, and that flavor. But that is it for me for today, for the Innokin Proton mod. If you have any other questions about the mod, about the device, about the tank itself, you're more than welcome to contact me. I'll answer any questions as good as I can. And if you want to, you can actually go and have a look at the pictorial that I will place on my Instagram account, Innokin Vapor. Go and like the video, subscribe, follow my Instagram account for more interesting vape related news. And that is it for me for today. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you again. But remember, most of all, keep them cloudy.